Good morning. Today we will consider the events that happened on Friday of the Lord Jesus' final week. According to the Gospel's account, it is highly possible that Jesus was arrested on Friday in the middle of the night when the day was starting. And then during Friday, we find that the trials happened, the crucifixion and the death of Jesus. And finally, he was put on the tomb. We know this day as Good Friday, and we call it good because the outcome and what commemorates was a good thing. God's will was fulfilled. The work of Jesus on that cross, his sacrifice, was a good thing for us who have placed our faith in him. So even though the death of the Son of God, the perfect Son of God, is a horrible thing, it's a horrendous thing, that sin, your sin and my sin, caused the death of the Lord Jesus Christ, is a horrendous thing. We call this Good Friday, because it is indeed a Good Friday for all of us who have placed our faith in Jesus. I want to meditate briefly here on Matthew chapter 26, verses 51 to 54. The Lord Jesus was finishing that time of prayer in Gethsemane. Judas came with the officers to arrest Jesus. And we find this. And behold, one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew out his sword and struck the slave of the high priest and cut off his ear. This was Peter. Then Jesus said to him, "Put your sword back into its place, for all those who take up the sword shall perish by the sword." Listen to this. Or do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? Therefore, how will the scriptures be fulfilled, which say that it must happen this way? Judas comes with the officers, with a crowd of people to arrest Jesus. And Peter responds, and he takes off his sword and cuts the ear of one of the slaves, one of the servants of the officers and the religious leaders. And it's so interesting that the Lord Jesus asks Peter to put off this sword. But then listen to what he says. Jesus is asking Peter, "Or do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father, and he will put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels?" Jesus could have escaped the cross. The only thing that Jesus was needing to do was to appeal to his Father. And in that moment, according to Jesus' words, the Father will have put at Jesus' disposal legions of angels to protect him. There was a way for Jesus to escape the cross, but he didn't. He talked to Peter. He stopped him. He reminded him of who he was, the Son of God, the Almighty, the powerful God, the creator of the universe. And Jesus was arrested. And he allowed himself to be arrested. And then willingly, in obedience, he went to that cross. Tonight here at Crossway, we are planning to consider the final words, the final phrases that the Lord Jesus Christ said on the cross. And just think about this. Jesus was a teacher. He preached sermons. He was so eloquent. He was so able with his word. He was powerful. People were astonished by the power of his teaching. But then, in the final hours, Jesus chose to speak very particular things. Very few words were said. And that's what we're going to meditate tonight here at Crossway. But today I want you to reflect on the sacrificial work of Jesus Christ on that cross. That cross signifies that the perfect Son of God came to die and to give his life for the ransom of many. Remember also that Jesus could have escaped the cross, but in obedience, he decided not to do that. And he went to that cross, he died on that cross, and today we call this day Good Friday, because that was the good work of Christ on our behalf, for us. He took our place. He was the perfect substitute, taking your place and my place. We brought all our sinfulness and we take from Jesus all his righteousness. The perfect Son of God went to the cross. He didn't renounce. He didn't run away from the cross, but he went to the cross to die for you and for me. So I invite you today to reflect that Jesus went to that cross because he loved you. And as we are preparing our hearts and minds for today to meditate on the work of salvation of the Lord Jesus Christ, think of this. Jesus could have escaped the cross, but he went to the cross because he loves you. And this is why we declare that today is a Good Friday, because the mystery of God to save the world was done. It was finished by Jesus on the cross. Have a blessed day.